Ozark Mountain Backcountry. So here we are beginning part 2 of my Indian Trails ride. I hope you enjoy this video. I know some of them have been long. I'm working on figuring out ways to make them a little more entertaining during the boring parts, but I do want to upload the continuous trip. I find it pretty interesting. On this trip we didn't see a lot of wildlife. I think there'll be more and more of them as time goes. I had lost my video camera, but found it, and during the time where I had lost it, me and my son took a ride, and we saw 12 deer, 4 or 5 rabbits. It was really interesting, a good trip. I wish I'd had my camera. I also went on a trip down to St. Joe riding in Missouri. I've been wanting to do reviews of parks. That would have been my first one, but again, I didn't have the camera. It was a lot of fun. It was interesting. It was my first ever trip to a park, so it was good to get used to it. Here we're taking one of the back trails. It's a pretty good ride. When we get back in here, this was supposed to lead all the way through. We get to a point to where it becomes private property, and they've got it blocked off and set with no trespassing. So it's interesting to me that Onyx has it shown that you can drive through it. I wish that they would fix that or do something about that where we could mark it for other people to see. They may have that, I just don't know it, but I'm going to look into that so that if other people decide to go riding on some of the trails that I ride on, they'll be able to see it. I know I do a lot of gravel road riding, and you're absolutely right, that is not four-wheeling, that is back-roading. I enjoy back-roading quite a bit. I enjoy four-wheeling quite a bit, mudding. All of the activities involved in this are a lot of fun. But there is a significant difference in a lot of the roads that I ride and four-wheeling are going deeper. In this trip, in this part of the trip, there is quite a bit of riding in the deeper part of the woods. Some of my favorite riding is trail riding. When I was at St. Joe, on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd say we rode probably 3.5 difficulty roads. We saw quite a few people riding some, I would say, triple black diamond trails there. We saw one person flip. There was a lot of people there. That was last Saturday. That would have been on the 1st, I think. No, that would have been the 28th. On the 28th of February. It was warm, it was nice, it was great. It is dusty, and I called the side-by-side Penelope after Penelope Pig, because she is a dirty pig. She likes to get muddy. She does well in the trails. Well, there's these tires. I know I've bragged about them quite a bit, but when off-roading, I mean four-wheeling, trail riding, mudding, these carnivores, they are excellent. They're excellent tires. They do really good. But when you do as much gravel road riding or chip and seal, or I ride around town quite a bit, these tires, they're like driving over sandpaper. They are getting ate up really fast. When these tires are wore out, I will probably replace them with a very aggressive truck tire, as light as I can find, something that will last on the riding that I do. I will probably keep carnivores around in case we decide to go on long trail rides. Maybe when we go to places like Utah or Colorado, probably do really good up there. But for the roads that I ride around here, it's just going through these tires really fast. This is getting in the evening and the sun was blinding through here. It made it hard to see, but I've got my helmet on, and I've got a sun shield on that, which really helps. My wife and I, we both use the communication cardio. We use the Neo packs, Peace Talk Neo. I'm pretty impressed with how well they do. They hold a charger well. You can play music over them. They're expensive, and I wouldn't have bought them if I hadn't already financed the flip-up window on the side-by-side, but the flip-up window wouldn't fit on my side-by-side after the accident, because it bent the cage enough so that the window wouldn't operate correctly. So I had to replace it with this strap, polyurethane glass. I'll probably take that off when it gets warmer so that cool air gets in the cab. But for cool riding or in the rain, it's effective. It does a pretty good job, especially for what it costs. I think this was like $160, and the electric raising window I had going here was significantly more than that. I used the money left over from that window, because we couldn't put it in, to buy those 2 Neo packs for the helmets. Kind of curious how well the ITP Savages, not the soft, apparently they make 2 different kinds. They make soft and hard. I'm kind of wondering how well those hard ones would do on hardpack, like gravel roads or chip and seal or highways. I have to ride, well, I don't have to. I could load the side-by-side up on my trailer and drive it out to Indian Trails, unload it, and ride then, and I would save the tire, but that would take quite a bit more time, and I actually enjoy riding on those roads, so I would rather have a tire that does well on both. I watch R3, and they really talk up the ITP, and they really speak highly of the Savages. I'm just wondering if anyone had used those on harder surfaces and how well they last. I was told by the dealer where I bought this, who had been just excellent with me, They have done really well. Their Midwest Sports Center, their website is www.midwestsportscenter.com. They've been very helpful. They've done really well by me, good pricing, and really good customer service. When I was down there and I was talking with them about the tires, they're the ones who suggested I buy a good truck tire. A lot of people are putting truck tires on the side-by-sides that do the kind of riding I do. I did ask them about, the weight. He said, for the riding that I do, the way I ride, the weight, isn't something I have to consider that much about the tires. Of course, you have to worry about it overall, but the difference in weight between a truck tire and let's say an ITP is negligible. I'll go to a 33 by 10 by 15 is what I'd like to go to. I might do a 33 by 11, but if I don't, I'll probably do a 5.2 offset on the wheels that I like to use on it. And I've been thinking about probably a really aggressive Falcon tire. It's what I run on my truck. I've been really happy with those. And the kind of riding I do would probably, if they ran well and were aggressive enough in the kind of riding that I do, they would last for a really long time. I don't do racing, I like to ride these roads and back trails, and I do like to go four-wheeling. Down in St. Joe was about as aggressive as I think I would really want to get. There were a few times it was pretty hairy. I wish I'd had a camera on me. I really want to get another camera. I want to have one on the front and one on the back so that I can show, what we're seeing in front and back as we're driving. I've started taking pictures with my phone of places that we're going, so I can start putting those in, so you can also get other views than my driving camera. I think as this goes on over the coming year or so, we'll be making more and more improvements to this. I hope that you continue to stick with us and enjoy the reviews that I put up. I'm going to be doing a review of St. Joe hopefully soon. I may go down over St. Pat's. I'm not sure. If I don't go to St. Pat's, I may go to Flat Nasty and ride down there. But wherever I go, I will record and do a review of it. On this trip, I was still wanting to get down to the fishery and the mill that they have down here, and as you can see, the shadow of the trees is starting to get long, and it's getting late in the day, and I didn't want to be out too late. This was February the 8th, and while it was probably in the mid-50s, upper 50s, when the sun went down, it was still going down in the 30s, and it was getting cold, and I didn't dress real warm for this trip. So I'm running up here to take this other pathway that I saw on Onyx that would cut off quite a bit of travel, but I did see that there was private land on either side of the road when you got down a little bit, and I was worried that I'd have the same problem. I'd get down there so far and it would be fenced off. Again, when I don't ride on private land. The other day, I think I might have a video of it, and if I do, I will put it up. I'm going to try to do, again, videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, get them up. I went down to Dent's Ford, and I got down there, and there's a power line that runs through there, and where the power line was, I saw no fences, no trespassing, any signs on it, and there was a trail that went back. So I rode back on that trail for maybe 200, 250 yards, and then as I got back in there, it started to look more and more like private land. I never saw no trespassing signs or purple markers, but I didn't want to risk it. It was nice, and if I could find, Onyx has who owns the properties, but if I ever find one that I think would be really fun, and I think that they would let me ride on it, I might call and ask for permission. If I get permission, I'll ask if I can send them an email so they can respond, so that I'll have a copy that they gave me permission. But I have yet to find any land like that that I just really, have to ride on. When I was younger and I rode motorcycles, that's what we would do. We would find out who owned the land if we wanted to ride on it, and we'd go up and we would ask. Now, back then they didn't have, email or anything like that. We would just get their permission, and if they gave us permission, we'd ride on it. Now, there'd always be rules that they would set for us, like don't ride any fields with cows, don't harass any of the wildlife, stay on the roads, things like that. We always followed what they said, because you have to respect, well, you don't have to, but you should respect someone else's property. And we try to do that. And even in times when I would get back on land by mistake, and that has happened once or twice since I've had the side-by-side, and doing some back trails, have got a little bit onto some private land, and when I do that, I turn around and I leave. But I treat all of the land I ride on with as much respect as a person can. You can never leave it as pristine as you first see it. There's always going to be some disturbance. To kind of make up for that, I will take trash bags, and when I go for rides, I'll pick up trash that I've seen thrown down. I try to help keep it clean as pristine as I can. Indian trails, however, as you can see, we've been riding on it now for almost 20 minutes in this video, and I don't think we've seen one piece of trash. They keep it really clean, and the people who use the state parks treat them with respect. It's one of the wonderful things about Missouri, is that our state parks and the people who use them are very respectful. They're respectful of each other and the parks. of these days I'm going to figure out how to put an overlay of my Onyx file, so it'll show my elevation, how fast I'm going, the direction I'm going, the path that I'm taking. Here it kind of seems like I'm going pretty fast, but I think through here I'm doing 35, 40 miles an hour. It looks faster on the video than what it actually, is. That cutout, kind of remember that. We'll be coming back to that in a minute. Here I get a little concerned. I wanted to look at the Onyx map to make sure that I was going the way I thought I was and that it was heading where I was hoping it would. On the left, that is dispersed camping. And that's something I think I might like to do once or twice this year. The guy that gave me the idea to do this, one of the guys, is the guy that does Rocky Mountain Backcountry. I love his videos. It's very informative. He does a really good job. He appears on video a lot more than I do. I think I'm going to start doing that a little bit more so you get familiar with who I am and what I look like. But he does a lot of these videos, and he does a lot of this dispersed camping. He has several camping. He has a teardrop camper that he pulls. He has a Can-Am Defender. I think it's the Lone Star Edition. It's a real nice vehicle. But I love my Cali. I couldn't imagine giving it up. I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'2", 320 pounds. Not small, and the Cali is very comfortable for me. When I'm sitting in that Lone Star, even it's not as comfortable as the Cali is to me. I think I could ride in the Cali all day. As a matter of fact, down in St. Joe, we rode as hard as I've ever ridden, and we did that for 4.5 hours straight. And I didn't get tired at all. This is still state property on either side, but right up ahead is where it turns to private land. You can see it marked, chained off. Now, I could go through right up in front of me. There's no fence there. I could go right through, but they don't want you on it. Now, what really made me, I wanted to, and I'm going to be honest, I did want to, because it's probably not 200 yards from that spot to the other side, where I'm right up next to where the mill would be. But I thought about it, and the better part of valor, I decided not to do it. Now I'm decided to look at Onyx to see if there's another way. And I'm going, the only way to get down there is go all the way backtrack to where I took the right turn and go left all the way back around. And if I was doing 50, it would take another hour to get there. So I'm deciding, well, it looks like I'm not going to be able to get down to it. And I have yet to make it down there. I'm going to try to make another trip down there. My sister's coming back, going for the ride with me here soon. We may do that also, but I think she may be going to Flat Nasty or St. Joe with me. I just have to talk to her and see how when she's coming down, what she wants to do. But when looking at the map, I see a lake, and the lake is a half a mile to the right up here through the woods, and there's a road. It shows a road leading through there on Onyx. I go, well, I'll just take that. I'm going to show you what the road turns out being. This is one of the areas I'd go hunting back when I would hunt. This is one of the areas that my father would take me, and we would hunt. And when I was 16, 17, you couldn't hardly throw a rock without hitting a deer, turkey, squirrel. They were everywhere. Thick as thieves back then. Now you don't see any of them, hardly back through here. I would have thought I would have saw a bunch, especially in the evening when they would get more active, but they were not moving very much, and I didn't see a lot of deer sign back through here. I'm wanting to go back, ride back through this weekend and see if I can find some morels. I understand that the morels might be popping up this weekend. I've never went morel hunting, but I think it would be fun to go out once, do that, find a few of them, eat them. That would be nice. Now here I'm looking to see, I didn't see this on the map, and I saw it when I come down through here, and it looks like you could take this, and if you was to follow it, it would come through maybe 200 yards, and you'd be on that road that leads over to the mill that I'm wanting to see. So I thought, well, what is down here? What is it? I pull up and I look, and sure enough, there is a road that goes down through there, but I pick up Onyx and I look at it, and right where you see that snow, there's a little hump there. Right there, that's private property. It's not marked anywhere here, but it's still private property, and I didn't want to trespass. I still think here on the right, I wish I would have taken my camera and taken a few pictures of it. It's a really beautiful dispersed camping site right there. It would have been nice to camp there. Probably not that night. It was going to get real cold. You had to have a pretty good fire, a really good sleeping blanket. But I still think that'd be fun. There's a couple of other dispersed camping spots back through here. I'll show you one more on the other side when I come out on the other side up here. Switching out a low and a high. So remember that cutout. This is that cutout, and this is the road. It shows a road going through here. Well, you know, I'd really love to see this lake. I don't think I've ever seen it, and it looked on Onyx like a fairly decent lake that fed down eventually into what used to be fisheries over here. I think they used to raise stonefish down there, bass, perch, bluegill, things like that to stock. That fishery now is no longer being used, which is a shame because it was a nice fishery. So I'm pretty happy about the road, this path going down through here. I'm pretty confident that it's going to be no issue. Right about here I start thinking it seems like a pretty rough road, so it looks like a logging path, and I've had two different reports on it. I've had one forestry agent tell me that they don't mind me on the active foresting paths as long as we're staying on those, you know, those active logging trails. And I've had another one saying that, you know, you're still not supposed to be on them. I'm going to ride on them until someone catches me on one and tells me I can't be on it, and then I'll bite. I'll get off of it. Here I'm thinking, well, do I need to turn around? So I start looking for, I'm thinking, well, I'll just go ahead and spin around. And then oh, well, it continues, it's still good. I'd say that this road compared to St. Joe is in really good shape. here, I'm kind of wanting to turn around and go ahead and go back, but my adventurous spirit got the best of me when I saw this, bypass to that tree. Sure enough, I pop out at this lake road. But I'm not sure exactly how far the lake is up the road, or if I can even get there because of all the fallen trees. Here I run into a young family who are out hiking. I speak with them a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and cut out this. They were really friendly. I enjoyed speaking with them. The camera had stopped recording and I had to restart it right here. The only thing we missed was me crossing the lower river from that lake. The lake was incredibly low. I'm just going to continue this through this section so I can show you the dispersed camping that's up here, which is really nice. And then when we come out, we'll be back on the eastern loop. And you've been on that road with me several times already. There's no reason to continue recording it because we don't really see anything or have any events that happen. I did cut out this section here about 5 minutes. I got out and I wanted to look at the side-by-side, check the tires, make sure everything's doing okay, and it was doing great. I thought I'd felt it kind of pulling, and I wanted to make sure it was alright, but everything was good. To the right, that field you see, I don't know, it may be 15 yards in from where this road is. That's also private land. In the upcoming videos, I've moved my camera from the left side to the center. I'm kind of curious to see how it does up there, what the videos look like. I haven't looked at them yet. Planning on looking at them this weekend if I'm not too busy riding. Here I'm switching out of low into high. Anytime that I'm riding, 20 miles an hour or down for any extended period of time, I put it into low. I was told that's one of the ways that you save your belt and you save your clutch. If someone feels that's different, let me know. I'd be interested to hear input on it. So right here on the left is the other dispersed camping. This would be another really nice place. I am sure that during deer season, these are both really active deer camps. People come down here and probably set up pretty big family camps, but when it's not hunting season, these places are empty, except for a few people who like to hike, trail ride. And this is the beginning of the Eastern Loop. Other than that, I've enjoyed talking with you. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully I'm getting better with the conversation and things that are going on with it. While the video's going on, I'm hoping to have a few more pictures in it. I'm still trying to learn how to put images of overlays on the video. I may be able to get one on here. There's a way to do them where they are synced up so that you can see on the overlay where I am, and you could actually look it up and follow it if you want to go there. I've seen some mountain bike riders do it, and they seem a little more savvy about the technology it takes to do it than me. I may spend some time trying to figure that out over the next few months, maybe in the summer. If I can get it where it works well, I'll start using that also. Other than that, expect to see a few more videos next week. I'm going to try to put a video up of the trip down to Dents Ford, and I'm going to try to record one this weekend, just depending on what I decide to do. I hope everyone has a really good weekend and they enjoy the time change. I know I will. I'm so tired of this time zone. I wish that the whole nation would get rid of it. Other than that, God bless, be safe, and I will talk to you all soon.